So we thought we'd start off. I accidentally showed off the corporate library. So originally, this is what it's all about. Archie, Jughead. Oh, Jughead, Archie. Okay. You guys thought I was reading about like tech stuff, but I'm actually reading about all the yucks you can get. Oh,
Uh-huh.
now Ridgely. Scott Brown says put a white beard on Ridgely. Isn't
Yeah.
that the ultimate har har har? Now, folks, if you haven't seen Scott Brown in a while, he's a little busy this time of year because this guy looks like Kris Kringle.
All
But
right.
in recognition of the holidays, Ridgely wore red and I wore green. So Ridgely, another flannel shirt. For those of you who are not in the inside of my joke, my mother has gotten me for the last 30, 40 years a plaid shirt for Christmas. Not intentionally, but she forgets what she gave me last year. And she does that every single year. And so, Ridgely, I have quite the world's collection of plaid shirts.
You have so many plaid shirts that I never recognize them as having been worn before, and we talk to each other every single day, 4 times a day.
There you
So,
go. See, thanks to Mama Lee. It's so now here now on a sadder note, my mother is elderly and she's dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's and stuff like that. But Ridgely, in truth, all these years, she never remembered what she got me for Christmas anyway. So actually, we've kind of been used to it.
yeah. Ay, ay, ay. All right, folks. Great to
All
see
right,
you.
folks.
Scott says, my
Yeah, great
L's
to see
very busy
everybody.
right now, but I took time to be with my friends tonight. So great to have
Uh,
you here, my brother. Great to have you
Thank you,
here.
Santa. Thank you, Santa. Okay, so now, as originally mentioned, everybody, this is the last open house session of Mind Types After Dark. And so we thought we'd really kind of reach into our bag of gifts and tricks and kind of review all. Give everybody, because we see a lot of new names here, maybe auditing for the first time, which is awesome, giving you the basic groundwork of what is a mind type, how it can affect your marketing message through the concept and utility of what we call limbic messaging. And then we're going to give you the play by play on how to use that and really make your marketing super effective. But also, we're going to review the latest AI tools. And this is hot off the press, right? I see Bridget on the line. She and I originally just had a session where, originally, you know, the new AI assistants that I've been building?
Hmm.
She actually took them out for a test flight last night, and we continued today, and she has some mighty fine things to say about it. And so I'm going to reveal how we did that and how you all can create an AI assistant for yourself to make your life way easier next year in terms of marketing that not only has great marketing output, but is leveraged on your mind type, your limbic messaging, your everything. And I'll show you step by step how we do it. How about that for a
Yeah.
promise, Rich?
For sure. And I want to remind me to make sure I don't forget to share how powerful just the concept was when I used it on a high ticket sales call not 3 hours ago.
Wow. Okay, this is even new to me.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
great.
We're gonna show you how not only are we using the tools to create incredible output, but how when you understand how to use these AI tools, you can use them to help you close high ticket sales and deals because of the knowledge base that you bring to people where they see you as an expert. When they see you as an expert, they're going to pay a lot more money. I swear I almost think we got to increase our prices, man. I'm not getting I'm getting zero price resistance, zero. So
Wow,
anyway, it's all good.
that's
All
awesome.
right.
Okay, so originally I had asked you to bring some props. I hope you're ready. Bring out your mind types. Now, before you start the show about the mind types, I invite anybody that's fairly new to the idea of mind types to take advantage of a quick one-on-one session with us to discover your mind type. Okay, so if you want to raise your hand, if you've never done this before, please do so. And pay particular attention as Ridgely walks you through the seven mind types. And then think about which one you might be, and Ridgely will bring you on and ask you a couple of refinement type of questions to just to get you well on your way. And I think it would be totally worth it. Are you up for that, Ridgely?
For sure. Okay.
Okay. Hey, here's a great joke from Mike Ridgely. Mike says, "I'm out of my mind type."
Excellent. Okay, I get that. Hey, Mike, I'm gonna have to use that, bro. We have to pilfer that. Pilfering content that you find is called R&D. Most people refer to that as research and development. For us, it's just rip off and duplicate. Okay, so it's all good in the world of online marketing. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't let a joke go unchallenged, Ridgely. Okay. We're about to talk about the brain, Ridgely. Okay. How does a brain say hello?
What?
How does a brain say hello?
I have no idea.
Okay, like this. With a brain wave.
You're out of here. All right. Okay, people. So here's the challenge that we face today and how we can use what we're about to share with you to really overcome this challenge. Today, everything is all about the image, the thing, the creation, the barrage of media, the onslaught of, oh, this is who you can pretend to be. You can fake out who you are. You can put in old pictures. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff to create some kind of a persona, some kind of a thing that you think is going to work in some way or another to help you on your cause. And the reality is, it's just, for the most part, a great deal of noise. What people are yearning for today, because it's so easy to start stuff, it's so easy to get rolling with content, it's so easy to set up a profile here any way you want and go from there. What people are yearning for is authenticity. It may be an overused word, but it's real. Who are you? What do you stand for? What are you about? And how good are you at communicating that so that people feel your authentic, genuine self? And as a result of that feeling, which is where all decisions are made based on feelings, they raise their hand and they sign up for your newsletter, they buy your product, they want your service, they want to join your community or whatever. And it's super important to get this clear in our brains. How good can we become at expressing our genuine nature, who we really are? Because despite all the AI crazy stuff that we do, at the end of the day, people have a spidey sense. They've got a sense. Is this real? Is it not real? Is there any element of that snake oil stuff going on here? How do we really get real with people so that they say, this is what I want, this is what I've been looking for? And it starts with knowing you. It starts with knowing you. What do you stand for? Why do you do what you do? Why do you exist? Why should that matter to the rest of us? And becoming really good at expressing that. So, we're going to take a small amount of time to walk through the 7 different mind types that are created based on your why you think the way you think, why you speak the way you speak, why you do literally everything that you do. And then after that, talk about how this pertains to expressing you to the world in such a compelling way that people say, I'm in, that's exactly what I'm looking for. And I can't tell you how powerful it is. To give an example, the call that I was just referencing a little while ago happened because an elite dentist in Chicago saw me speak. And it took her a few months. She saw me speak in September about limbic messaging, about mind types, and contacted her marketing person saying, hey, we're going into 2025. We need something different. Call this guy. And that's why I got the call last week, set up an appointment for today, had a call with this person a little while ago. Looks like they're our next new client. And for those of you who don't know, our clients are all high ticket clients, right? There's no such, we don't do business at, with a new dentist at less than, low end 50,000 a year. right? So it's a big deal to get these clients, and it's not easy, and it takes time. But what was the comment that she made to me? Dr. So and so said they were super impressed with the limbic messaging, and we need that for our practice. That was the secret sauce. It wasn't that we can do cool stuff with AI. It wasn't that we can dominate their market, even though that is what we do. The thing that got their attention was limbic messaging. How do we create limbic messaging for ourselves that distinguishes us from everybody else? Because instead of looking like a commodity, we look real. We're like real people with real feelings that are not afraid to express those feelings in such a way that we invite people who believe what we believe to say, wow, that's what I want, and that's what I'm signing up for. And I'm telling you, and this is not anything other than communicating. You get good at this, that's how you make $50,000 sales. Okay. So let's just really bear that in mind as we're going through this process. And by the way, it's usually much more than that because people don't leave us. Our tenure of our clients is much longer than a year. It's 50K a year, 50K plus per year, right? So just to bear that in mind, this is real money. And what we're going to share is very, very legit today as to what we need to do to get better at expressing ourselves to the world. All that said, there are 7 different mind types. And I'm going to share with you the 7 mind types. What is the superpower of each? What is the kryptonite of each? But more than that, why and how expressing that is so powerful so that all the people that have seen this 22 times that keep coming back because it's compelling enough to be here yet again still get some benefit out of it as well. So whether you're a veteran person, and I see some of our great old friends here, I'm not looking anymore at who's on the line, there's too many people, but I saw some old, but I also saw some names I've never heard of before. So obviously there's a lot of people here, and that's great. I'm going to walk you through this. As I'm walking you through, don't worry about it. Just take check in with yourself. What feels like you? What feels like, wow, that kind of resonates with me, and that kind of does too. And pay attention to both the mind type, the superpower of that mind type, and especially the kryptonite of the mind type. Oftentimes, the kryptonite, which is the opposite of the superpower, is the thing that can be most revealing to you. So that's enough of a preamble. Here we go. Number 1, the giver. The giver is the person that loves to make a difference, to add value, to have an impact. These people are doing everything they can to contribute in some way to all that they do. In fact, causes is their superpower. They're all about causes. And that could be a cause like joining the PTA at their school or their community or their spiritual group or whatever, and helping in some way or another. They love to help, to make a difference, to contribute. That's what the givers do. In fact, they do it so much, big, huge heart, right? You can see the heart in the center of the giver. They do it so much that they have a hard time saying no to anything. So they are always saying yes to way too many things, and they find themselves with their plates completely full. The kryptonite of the giver is overcommitment. They commit to way too many things, have a hard time fulfilling all those things, end up stressing out, or things fall through the cracks. All right. By the way, anybody like that? Right. We can almost all go to a place of like, oh, that's like my uncle so and so, my aunt so and so, my mom, the person that works in my office, that person, right? That's what you want to be doing. Identify who do you think that might be, including that might be me. Number 2, the connector. The connector is all about bonds and relationships. These are the people who do what they say they're going to do. They show up when they say they're going to show up. Why is that? Because trust is everything. See that bonding thing right there in the middle? Whoops, right there. Trust is everything to the connector. It's their superpower. And they go way out of their way to demonstrate that they can be trusted. In fact, they'll do the extra to prove that they're trustworthy, and then the extra, and then the extra. and then the extra, and then a little bit more because it's so important to them. And the challenge with that is that the first extra turns any of us who do the extra from being ordinary into extraordinary, something we can all aspire to. But every extra after that just makes you nice. Aw, that bird's so nice. They're always doing the extra, and it does not accomplish the objective of demonstrating trustworthiness. So the kryptonite of the connector is waste. They waste a lot of time attempting to be trustworthy, and it doesn't land. People take advantage of them. Okay. Number three, the problem solver. The problem solver is the person that loves to make sense out of things. They take lots of data in at warp speed, they process it, they go through checks and balances, they figure stuff out, they break it down, and they come up with options, possibilities, alternatives for the rest of us, and solutions. Solutions is the superpower of the problem solver. Now, what is the kryptonite of the problem solver? Well, this is kind of interesting. Have you ever been talking to somebody when they get the dumb look? They get that look, and you're wondering if there's anybody home. And once in a while, they blink so you know they're alive, but there's really kind of like no motion. There's nothing going on. It's like they're shut down in some way. When the problem solver doesn't have enough information, the problem solver's brain shuts down and they go into what we call paralysis. Paralysis is the kryptonite of the problem solver. Number four, the innovator. The innovator is the person who is always asking questions to find a better way to do anything and everything. Well, what about this? And what about that? What if we tried this? And how about this other thing? How about this thing over there? And what does that look like? With that? They do find better ways. They're great at it. In fact, they do a really good job of improving things, and improvements is the superpower of the innovator. So what's their kryptonite? It's the shiny penny syndrome. They can always see a better way to do things, but it doesn't matter how much it costs, how much might upset morale, how it might be, a bad thing for the team. They just want to find a better way. Change for change's sake, as opposed to positive change that is accretive, is the kryptonite of the innovator. Moving on to number five, the perfectionist. The perfectionist is the person who does A, then B, then C, then D, because they know that E is going to be predictable. They love order. They love to eliminate chaos. They love to organize things. They know that there's a right way to do things and that things should be done right. What is their superpower? Systems. They love systems. They love to operate systems, to put systems in place to make sure that there's no chaos, that things are done the way they're supposed to be done. So, what's the kryptonite of the perfectionist? Rigidity. See that ruler down the side of the pants right there? That they're just a little rigid, a little bit my way or the highway. There's only one way, and we all know that that's not true. There are always many ways. Just got to go find them. Not the perfection. No, I got this. I got this. All right, number six, the rebel. The rebel is the person that thinks differently. They live outside the box. These are the disruptors, the creators of the new normal. These are the people that you say yes, they say no. You say why, they say why not. They're the people that are always looking to challenge anything and everything, and challenge is the superpower of the rebel. They'll challenge the norm. They'll challenge the vanilla. They'll challenge the middle of the road, and they will most especially challenge the status quo. That is their superpower. What's the kryptonite? Well, because of challenging everything and everybody, people are like, whoa, get out of my face. Stop challenging me all the time. Go away. The kryptonite of the rebel is isolation. People push them away because they don't want to be challenged anymore, or the rebel will self-isolate because they feel misunderstood. Finally, number seven, the master. The master, these are the people that have giant intellectual brains. They're just super, super smart people. They have an increased capacity for knowledge. They're always looking to take things to another level. There are not very many of them in the world. Their superpower is depth. They love to go deeper on anything that they care about. And they know more about most things than most of us. But if they care about something, they know way more. So we'll talk about that as we go a little further. What is the kryptonite of the master? Because they know so much, they have a tendency to overcomplicate things for the rest of us. They go down rabbit holes with their knowledge. They make it difficult for the rest of us to understand. Complexity is the kryptonite of the master. So very, very quickly, one more time, so you can remember again, don't feel pressure. What feels like it might be you? The giver, all about making a difference, adding value, superpower, causes, kryptonite overcommitment for saying yes too many times. The connector, all about bonds and relationships, superpower, trust, kryptonite, waste for trying to prove it that they can be trustworthy. The problem solver, all about making sense out of things, clarifying, simplifying things, superpower solutions, kryptonite paralysis when they don't have enough data. Number 4, the innovator, all about finding a better way to do things. Superpower, improvements, kryptonite, change for change's sake. The perfectionist, all about doing things the right way. Superpower, systems, kryptonite, rigidity. There are more than one way to do things. This is number 6. That was number 5. The rebel, number 6. The rebel is all about challenging the status quo. Superpower, challenge. Kryptonite, isolation from pushing too many people away because of challenges. Finally, the master, very, very smart people, biggest brains out there, superpower depth. They want to go deeper on what they care about. Kryptonite, complexity, because they overcomplicate things for the rest of us. There you go, Hubert. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, cheers, brother. Thank you for that. That's awesome. So, a common thought, and it was shared by Mike on the threads here. When you say it originally, mind types 1 through 7, everybody says, "Oh my gosh, that one's me. No, that one's me. That one's me. That one's me." Right? So let me have you explain how all of us, because one of the when you innovated the system and I started working with you on refining it all those years ago, one of the feedback items we got was, how could you possibly put everybody on Earth into one of 7 mind types, right? But then when you look into it, there's the concept of the primary mind type, the secondary mind type, and even a tertiary mind type,
Correct.
right? So can you kind of give us an idea of how that works, why it's so many permutations, and then with that sense, it's like, of course, that really defines us all. And then explain to us why your primary mind type is actually your primary mind type, please.
Yeah. So when you were an infant, when you were a small being and you wanted anything, the default setting was cry, scream, yell, etc., until you got what you want. And then one day, your caretakers, generally mom or dad or both, would come along and say, Hubert, you don't get to have whatever the hell you want just because you're screaming. So figure something else out, pal. Now, they didn't say it that way, but that was the default setting. At that time, you're too small to figure things out. You're trying stuff. You're playing, you're doing whatever. And so when you figured out that thing that got your need or your want met, obviously, through trial and error, oh, that worked. Let me do more of it. That didn't work. Forget that. That worked. Let me do that again. That didn't work. Forget that. You come into a pattern to survive, right? You're coming into a pattern of survival. How do I survive as a small developing being in this crazy complex world that we live in? It's by figuring out what works and doing it over and over and over. For some people, it's being kind, the giver. For some people, it's about bonds, the connector. For some people, it's about making sense out of things, the problem solver. For some people, it's about finding better ways to do things, the innovator. For some people, it's about doing things the right way, perfectionist. For some people, it's about challenging everything. The rebel. I have a grandson who's a rebel. It's hilarious. He challenges everything. For some people, it's about going deeper in subjects that they care about. That's the master, right? That's how they survived those early years. And it developed into that is the primary mind type, which is like the default setting. Now, for comments for the people who say, oh, I'm all of the above. No, it's not that you're all of the above. It's that you have elements of all of the above, and you have the capacity to put on the cape as your superpower of any of the mind types at any time, purposely and intentionally. The moment that you're no longer thinking about it, the moment that you're back to your default setting, you're going to default back to being your primary mind type. Me, for example, my primary mind type is the problem solver. I have to make sense out of stuff. If stuff doesn't make sense to me, I don't get it. I'm paralyzed. Paralysis is my kryptonite. I can't move forward. I can't. So my primary default setting is being a problem solver. I've got to make sense out of stuff. That's what I do. I clarify things. I simplify things. That's why I've written 20 books, right? Because I do that thing. And as a result of embracing this as a strength and not a weakness is what's given me these communication abilities to write lots of books and do videos and shoot courses and do all kinds of things because I've embraced my primary mind type as a superpower that I can tap into at any time. However, there's the secondary and the tertiary. So the number of permutations are there are 7 mind types. You have a primary, so we'll eliminate one. We're down now to 6, 7 times 6. We eliminate a second one for your secondary, times 5. Now you're down to 210 permutations for each person. So we are very complex people, but we are guided by our primary, secondary, and tertiary mind type. To give a quick example, my secondary is the giver. I love to make a difference. I love to help people as long as it makes sense. If it doesn't run through my primary mind type of making sense as a problem solver, I don't do that, right? I don't do things that don't make sense, even though I love to make a difference. If I don't think it's going to really make a difference because it makes sense to me that it's going to make a difference, I won't do it. So whereas a giver problem solver, a primary mind type of a giver, just wants to give however they give. And sometimes one of the ways they do it is by making sense out of things. Very different. It doesn't run through the same filter as it does for me. And that's the case for all of us. So it's important to understand we all have a default setting. We all do. The default setting is your primary mind type. You can intentionally step into any of the other mind types at any time. But the moment you stop thinking about it, the moment you stop being volitional, you're going to default back to your primary mind type every single time. Is that answering your question, Hubert?
Yes, for sure. And I want to point this out. Your native mind type, the default mind type, is so strong that in times of crisis, that's how you act, right? And so when Ridgely and I, okay, so I'm from New York. I grew up in the streets of New York. If I am with Ridgely, and we've done this many times, and we're walking down the street in Manhattan and we're talking about our business or whatever, I'm a master, so I'm like digging in deep, like the absent-minded professor, and I don't like Mr. Magoo. I don't know what's happening around in the world to me. If there's like a safety situation, I want Ridgely at my side because at a time of crisis, in 2 nanoseconds, Ridgely is going to have scoped out the situation. This guy's a threat. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And Ridgely, you and I see this in corporate situations all the time. Oftentimes, a CEO for a company in crisis is a problem solver because that's what they do. They can't help it. They suss it out and lead in times of crisis, right? So, in terms of project management, like Ridgely and I are right now taking our company through very rigorous, you know, project management protocols and baking in project management. And we haven't gotten really to the stage yet, but like the identification of how people act natively and who to put in what position. Like originally, you and I also often say Getting the right people on board is important, but putting the right person in the right seat on the bus is key. And that really is recognizing what's your native strengths related to your mind types.
Well, not only that, and this is really important, people. Like, let me just share something with you in case you forgot. There's no sense in being anybody else. There's only one of you, and everybody else is taken. Okay? There's no sense in being anybody else. There's only one of you. Everybody else is taken. So you may as well just be you. And understanding who you are and what that means is so critical because when we do that, when we can play to our strengths, we have joy, we have energy, we have power. We can do so much more when we're playing to our weaknesses or somebody else's game because we don't know who we are. It's hard. Everything is an effort. It's a bear. It's whatever. It's not fun, especially in terms of work. Think about how many hours you spend in your career. I love to think of it as serving people, adding value wherever possible. Please do that in a way that you're tapping into your strength. And to do that, you have to know who you are, what you stand for, etc. Number one. And then number two, you have to be good at expressing it so that people get you. They know how to work with you. They know when they want something from you. They know when they want to join you because you're great at expressing who you are. And unless you are, that's very, very tough. I have a great relationship with every client that we have, all of them, because I'm always so genuine and authentic. And if there's a problem, my answer is, hey, let's figure it out. What is that? What is that language? Let's figure it out. That's classic problem solver. That's who I am. It's what I do. Let's figure it out. And if it doesn't make sense anymore, classic problem solver language, we can decide how we want to shift this relationship and how I can help you figure out what does make sense for you. Classic problem solver. As a result, I never have any bad meetings. I don't even have any bad relationships. Do we sometimes part ways? Yeah, because it's not the right fit anymore. Great, that's life. But I'd rather part ways in a loving, caring, kind, intelligent way that doesn't cause a lot of, oh my God, aggravation, craziness, so much more enjoyable. And when we figure this out about ourselves and what we stand for, it makes it possible to do that all the time. It's great.
100%. I can attest. I've seen visually in these situations. One thing I do want to add is no man is an island. The power of partnering is incredible, especially when you're cognizant of how mind types works. Visually, I don't know about you, but I always advise people just because you like somebody, if you find out that they're you like them because they're a lot like you, it's not often advisable to go into business with somebody of the same mind type, right? Ridgely and I have been very successful in our partnership. He's a problem solver, I'm a master. It's been complementary. We know our roles, we trust each other in it, and it just works, right? But when you're cognizant of that, so originally spend 30 seconds on a concept. We don't have to go into each one, but there's a concept of certain mind types work better with other mind types than others.
For sure. So imagine, for example, that you're a connector and trust is everything to you. And without knowing it, you're forced into a business situation with a rebel who all they do is challenge everything and anything because that's who they are. By the way, it is not personal at all. It's not about the connector. It's about that's who they are. What is the connector going to do in that situation? They're going to take it personally, guaranteed. They're going to take it personally that what they say is being challenged by this other person, even though it is absolutely not personal. If they understood who they were in their respective mind types, one could step into the shoes of the other and say, well, you're just saying that because you're a rebel. And then there would be a path forward. Without that, there's no path forward. Take, for example, a situation where you have a giver that is saying yes all the time to everything, and an innovator that is constantly seeking for the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. That is a formula for a disaster. Innovator comes in with yet another thing, yet another thing, and the giver says yes, 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 to the point where they're way overwhelmed, completely overcommitted, and nothing happens. It breaks down unless they begin to understand each other. And the giver is somehow knows the formula, which we teach, of how to respectfully brush off, at least for a minute, that new thing that the innovator has going down. So you can imagine when you understand all these dynamics in an office, you can figure out which are the ones that really work. For example, Hubert is a master. Hubert is unbelievably brilliant. And it's hard to understand. And most of us will not understand because we're not as brilliant as Hubert. It's just the way it is. And it's not that Hubert is a better human being than the rest of us. He just has a giant, giant brain. So, what is the kryptonite of the master? He complicates stuff. What is the superpower of the problem solver? Makes sense out of things, clarifies and simplifies things. I can't even tell you how many times Hubert and I go on walks together. He's in New York, I'm in Florida, but we go for walks and we're on the phone talking. And Hubert's got this idea and he's trying to explain it to me. And I'm like, I just don't frigging get it. I just don't frigging get what the hell he's talking about. I really don't. And but because we've been together for 15 years, I'm like, dude, you got to break that down for me, okay? Just slow down. Give me the beginning, give me the middle, give me the end. Okay. Now, okay. So that goes to now I'm getting what you're saying. So if we do this, then we can do that. Oh man, that's really good. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's really good. Now here's the thing. Hubert and I have been together a long time, and we know how to complement each other in that relationship. Hubert could give that same explanation to somebody else that wasn't a problem solver, and they wouldn't get it. I oftentimes interpret Hubert's brilliance for our clients, for the rest of us, for whatever. And I, I mean, I feel like apologizing, but we've been together for so long that I don't anymore. I'm often saying, like, man, will you just stop, hold on, stop. Shh. Let the because Hubert can go very deep on stuff when we need to go step by step for the rest of us to keep up with that. Again, the relationship and understanding the strength of the relationship. I have immense respect for Hubert's brain. I am also clear that Hubert's brain is better interpreted when I interpret it because otherwise people
Yes.
don't get it. Like, right? Am I making this up?
No, exactly. And if I can, so it's Mind Types After Dark, and After Dark is where we go super deep. So originally, we're always transparent without messing my members. So with your permission, even without your permission, I'm going to tell them a follow up to this. Okay. This very day, originally brought up something. Last week, it was late at night. I was on fire about a concept, like on fire, folks. This is like a guaranteed winner in the depths of my soul. I know that this idea is a winner. So originally graciously got on with me in the middle of the night. I was like on fire, and then he listened, he processed it, he understood. Okay, I'm like, cool. I got through it originally. Today, originally calls me on a meeting. It says, "Can you go over again, like why you're so on fire about this concept? This happened like 5 hours ago." Okay, so I went through the whole thing again. Doom, ba doom, ba doom, ba doom. And then again, Richly is like, okay, I got it. Originally, this just happened today, originally.
Yeah. And it wasn't just that I got it. I had to process it and probe on it and push on it until I knew that I could share it with somebody else because that's when I know I've really got it. And imagine that you had this kind of relationship with everybody that you work with, right? That you know what their superpower is. I know the mind types of everybody on our team, right? So I know, okay, that person, I don't need to worry about them. They're going to get the stuff done. That person, oh man, they could take too much on and not get stuff done. I got to stay on top of them, right? It's so incredibly powerful. And when people get that about you, they know what you're great at, they're going to ask you to do the stuff that you're great at, which happens to be the stuff that you love to do, because nobody likes to do the stuff that they suck at, right? They
Exactly.
don't. So,
It's all about managing the right people, understanding their mind types. Now, folks, we're
got
gonna
to
do
get
a
into
pivot.
AI here, brother.
Yes, we're
Get
gonna
stay
do a
tuned.
pivot here. We're gonna pivot and show how to translate that mind type into Limbic messaging into effective marketing. I do want to recognize that we had invited people to have originally asked them a couple of questions to help them verify their mind type. Paul had raised his hand earlier. Paul, if you're still into it, let us know, and originally can bring you right on. But while you're considering that, and let us know ASAP, please. Originally, I want to demonstrate for the good folks here. Some of us have seen this example many times. It's always brilliant every single time. But I want to show it for the majority of the people that haven't seen it. I want you to show an example of marketing that clearly is based on the giver mind type, and show us without it and show us with it, so that we can experience what level of like oomph it gives when you fold in the understanding of the mind type into a marketing message.
Sure. Okay. So I have a water bottle right here, water bottle, right? And if you're looking at most marketing when it comes to water bottles, right, you're going to get a message from a water bottle company that sounds something like this. At ABC Water, we have the purest water from the deepest stream with all the antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals that you need to hydrate your body, even after a long workout. Want to buy some? And it sounds exactly like BCD water, DCE water, EFD water, what it's every other water on the shelf. There's nothing that distinguishes that from being a commodity. And if it's a commodity, here's what you're going to get: the cheapos, the people that are looking for a deal, the tire kickers, the whatever, and the people who will bitch and moan about anything and everything. And I don't know about you, but there's three types of clients out there: there's the good, the bad, and the ugly. You don't want the bad, you don't want the ugly. You only want the good ones. How do you do that? By expressing who you are so well that people get you and say, that is what I want. That's the person I want to be with, right? So, giver, let's suppose that the company is owned by a giver, and the messaging could sound so totally different when they express what they stand for. At our water, we believe that the body is a temple and only the finest ingredients should ever be put into it. We have the purest water from the deepest stream with all the vitamins, antioxidants, and minerals you need to hydrate your body. Want to join the cause? You can feel the difference. You don't just hear the difference, you don't just see that, you can feel it. And not everybody is going to be an Our Water person. There are some people who are ABC Water people. They just want the cheapest. Great. Do you want the person that wants the cheapest as a client? No. You want the people who believe what you believe. They believe that the body is a temple. These are the kind of people that are going to go to the store. They're going to ask for Our Water. They're going to complain if you don't have Our Water. They're going to talk to the manager about getting Our Water. They're going to become ambassadors for your company because they feel different because of how you express yourself to them. Game changing.
Yes, and if you folks paid attention, the pivot, the change that it took from A to B was actually very surgical and not hard. Originally changed two things, one at the beginning and one at the end. The thing at the beginning was he said, "We believe the body is a temple." And at the end, he asked, "Want to join the cause?" There's the concept of communication keywords and limbic messaging that appeals to one's mind type. And the limbic messaging is so irresistible, it makes you nod in agreement. Regardless of if you agree or not agree with the actual facts, you cannot dispute Ridgely's belief when he says that, right? The power of limbic messaging is incredible. So, Ridgely, I'm going to show the
Hold on.
good folks.
I want to show something. I want to show something really quickly because I showed
Okay.
this exact same thing a few hours ago, and I'm pretty confident it's going to lead to a high ticket sale. Okay.
Excellent.
With just 5 slides, 5 examples of what does limbic messaging look like. Again, our target market is dentists. We do have some other clients. We also work with community banks, but our primary thing is dentists. So take a look at it and look at the feeling that this generates. It's a feeling, right? Look at this. First one, I'll go back 1 second. I want to go back 1 sec. Here we go. We believe in new beginnings. If you believe in new beginnings and you're looking for a new mouth, you're like, wow, that feels so good. Here's another one. If you suppose you need a dental implant because you haven't been able to eat an apple or a steak for years. We believe in crisp apples and juicy steaks. Oh man, I believe in crisp. I wish I'd have had one. I haven't had one in so long. You deserve a smile you're proud of. That's right. I do deserve a smile I'm proud of, and I don't have it right now, so I better go to these guys to get that. We believe in turning strangers into family. Really? Oh man, these are my kind of people. You people, all about me. I love that because enjoying every meal matters. You know what? That's so true. I absolutely want to enjoy every meal. You deserve to wake up happy. Damn straight I do. I deserve to wake up happy. You see the emotional connection that we create, that's the thing that a few hours ago caused the person to say, wow, that's just great. I'm like, yeah.
Right.
And you need that on your website to convert more prospects into patients.
Yes, and everybody agrees with limbic messaging. Originally, most companies don't use limbic messaging. What do they do instead? You always
They
do the
talk
chest
about what
pounding
they
thing.
sell, what they offer, what they manufacture, what they make, and nobody cares because there's somebody down the street that offers the exact same thing. Nobody cares.
Exactly.
You,
And what's the
everybody
difference?
watching, you don't even care what your best friends do. You don't care what anybody does that you associate with. Somebody else does that too. What you care about is who are they? What do they stand for? Do they get me as a person? Can I relate to their values or not? That's what you care about.
Exactly. So if a dentist says you deserve the smile of your dreams versus we're the best dentist in town, originally, what's the reaction when somebody says we're the best dentist in town?
Says who? Where's the data? In other words, straight into their thinking brain that doesn't make decisions. You deserve the smile of your dreams as a, oh, you know what? I really do. I deserve the smile of my dreams. I wonder if I can afford it. Let me call these guys.
Exactly.
Game changer.
Now, I want to share my screen now and show Ridgely and my favorite limbic advertisement of all time. We've shown this a billion times. We're about to show it a billion and one times, and we love it every single time. My challenge to you all watching it with us is tell us afterwards what mind type it's based on. Okay, so originally you know already what I'm about to do, but let me go
Crank it
ahead
up,
and
man. Crank it up.
yes, and we're gonna crank it up. Everybody,
Turn your
enjoy.
volume up. Turn up your volume.
Here we go. I'm gonna share my left. I'm gonna share my screen and visually tell me when you can see my screen so that I can hit play. If you
Not
can see
yet.
my, okay, how about now?
Yep. Now I see it.
Here we go. And here it is, folks. This is Harley Davidson.
We believe in going our own way, no matter which way the rest of the world is going. We believe in bucking the system that's built to smash individuals like bugs on a windshield. Some of us believe in the man upstairs. All of us believe in sticking it to the man down here. We believe in the sky, and we don't believe in the sunroof. We believe in freedom. We believe in dust, tumbleweeds, buffalo, mountain ranges, and riding off into the sunset. We believe in saddlebags, and we believe that cowboys had it right. We believe in refusing to knuckle under to anyone. We believe in wearing black because it doesn't show any dirt or weakness. We believe the world is going soft, then we're not going along with it. We believe in motorcycle rallies that last a week. We believe in roadside attractions, gas station hot dogs, and finding out what's over the next hill. We believe in rumbling engines, pistons the size of garbage cans, fuel tanks designed in 1936, freight train-sized headlights, chrome and custom paint. We believe in flames and skulls. We believe life is what you make it, and we make it one hell of a ride.
We believe the machine you sit on can tell the world exactly where you stand. We don't care what everyone else believes. Amen.
Every single time, Ridgely.
It just never gets old. I just love it. It is so bam.
Yeah, exactly. And like everybody, what was the mind type it addresses? Now, whether you are that mind type or not, the authenticity, the heartfelt, oh, sorry.
What if I told you there was a way to get rid of ads like this?
Sorry, the authenticity, the heartfelt message, the genuineness of it is what's important.
Yeah, and it makes it so clear. This is what we stand for. And if you're me, and if you're that person, you want to be a part of that. So here's an example of a contrast here. Very interesting. Let's suppose you're getting ready to buy a motorcycle, and you do all this research, and you buy the motorcycle based on miles per gallon, how fast it goes from 0 to 60, longevity of the motorcycle, all kinds of factors that are intellectual thoughts. And you park your Kawasaki in the driveway, and your buddy comes up and says, "Dude, you got a Kawasaki? Hey man, why didn't you get a Honda?" And you instantly start doubting all sorts of things because it was based on the thinking brain, not the limbic or emotional brain. Let me ask you a question. Does anybody think that if there was a Harley Davidson parked in the driveway, that somebody would walk up and say, "Hey dude, why didn't you get a Honda?" No, they don't, because it's so obvious. The statement is so clear. That's why people stand in line all night long to get a new iPhone, even though their old iPhone works perfectly well. It's the dumbest thing in life, except it's not. It's called loyalty, which is why Apple became a $1 trillion company, because people will stand all night long to be the first guys to get the new iPhone because. And oh, by the way, the people who know nothing about cell phones whatsoever will dispute the superiority of an iPhone over a Droid all day long, and they would never get a Droid, even though the Droid is probably just as good, because Apple tells you what they believe, and everybody else tells you their features. Features don't matter. What they stand for matters. Apple, think different. Be part of the tribe. People that own a Mac, I'm talking to you on a Mac right now. People that own a Mac, we walk through airports looking around. Mac, all right. Mac, all right. My people on Macs. There's like a tribe feeling. That's why Apple stock is so valuable, because of that tribal feeling that is created when you express what you believe, not stuff, not what you do, what you sell, what you offer. Nobody cares. Somebody else does the same thing.
Exactly. Very, very powerful. Now, obviously, the rebel is the mind type that they were going after, but it doesn't matter if you're a rebel or not. You respect the fact that they're expressing the values of a rebel. From the chat, Bridget says, before that commercial, I was never a fan of motorcycle riders. After seeing that commercial, I love their passion. They're revealing what they stand for, etc. I might buy a motorcycle now.
Yeah,
That's exactly what happens, Bridget. So
that's
whether
what
you
happened.
so whether you call it limbic messaging, emotional marketing, cause marketing, heart-centric marketing, the concept is the same. You're short-circuiting the neocortex and going straight into the limbic decision-making. And then all the other facts that you put on there on your website and everything else, those are justifications, right? So that secret sauce, and we're going to go into the details of like how to use that secret sauce is everything. And that's why we spent so much time today honing in on the value of authentically expressing yourself. And the easiest way to do it is to talk about what you believe in as a result of your mind type.
All right, bro. Come on. We gotta speed this process up here.
Yes. So we're going to speed it up, but I want you to give the reveal of the 3 easy steps to do effective marketing. Super straightforward, super simple. We call it the partner attraction formula. Originally, walk us through the 3 steps so that we understand the framework, and then I'm going to show how easy it is to set it up in AI.
So I did that already here, right? There are 3 different types of limbic messages that are relatively easy to do. There are many others, but the 3 are: you deserve messages. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to be successful. The next one are because something matters, because enjoying every meal matters, because the environment matters, right? Because the community matters. Something that you're inviting somebody into a thought. And the others are we believe messages. We believe in turning strangers into family. We believe in long-term relationships. So those 3, you deserves, because something matters, and we believes, are the easiest way to create limbic messages that any of us can do. And it used to be a little bit more difficult. But then this bizarre thing called AI came along. And although it's been around for a long time, it only recently became available to the rest of us. So, Hubert, show the good folks out there how we can use AI to unbelievably shortcut the process of creating effective limbic messaging for you and your enterprise, no matter what you're doing.
I'll show that in a second. That's step 1, limbic messaging. Step 2 is you-centric copy. Okay. Originally, why is that important?
Okay, because there are 3 basic fundamental rules to marketing. Rule number 1, it's all about them. Rule number 2, it's all about them. Rule number 3, anybody got a guess? Yeah, it's all about them. It is always all about them. Whenever you talk about you, nobody cares. Nobody cares about you. They only care about what you can do for them. That's it. That's the only thing they care about. They may care
Yes.
about your authenticity because of what you can do for them. They may care about your talent because of what you can do for them. They may care about your product because of what the product can do for them, but they don't care about you. They care about what you can do for them. So if you don't write the copy and the message to be about them, you're missing the boat completely.
Exactly. So number 1 is limbic messaging. Number 2 is you-centric copy. And then what happens in number 3? What's this business that you have to do at the end of all of that?
To get people to partner with you. That's why we call it the partner attraction formula. It's like dating for business. To get people to partner with you, you have to tell them how to do that. You have to have a clear CTA or call to action. How does somebody buy your stuff? How do they join your tribe? How do they sign up for your newsletter? How do they do whatever it is that you want them to do? Has to be clear. So you've got a limbic message that causes them to go, wow, these are my people. You have partner or client or prospect or you-centric copy that's all about them, that causes them to feel like you're speaking to them. And then you have the clarity of the message, a clear CTA that lets them know how they can participate at the next level.
Excellent. Okay, now with all of that, folks, let me do my demo now. And it's going to be very short. It's going to be very easy. Okay. Now, I am showing my screen. We're just going to focus on this little area here. I created a chatbot that works like this. Okay. First off, I I programmed it to be self-explanatory, right? So I'm going to say, what are you? I'm going to just say, what are you? Okay. Now it's going to say, let me just increase this size. I'm an AI assistant specialized in SEO, that's search engine optimization, copywriting for dentists, particularly for Chandler Park Dental Care. Now, I built an AI assistant specific to a project that we're working on. My role includes creating SEO optimized content such as website copy, blog posts, and social media content to help Chandler Park Dental Care improve their online presence. I use strategies that include local SEO optimization and engaging people-first messaging. I focus on including emotional limbic messages such as "we believe," "you deserve," "because something matters," and "we picture a world where" to make content more appealing and connect with prospective dental patients on an emotional level. How can I assist you today? Now, originally, this is a chatbot that already knows my client and already knows what I want to do. Okay, so I'm going to ask it just to double check. How do you make copy you centric? And originally, I haven't even shown you this, the self-descriptive nature of this bot. Okay, so folks, originally and I just decided today that this is so valuable that rather than keep it internal for our team to deliver our deliverables, we're actually going to present it to the client so that they can use it as a tool. Creating you-centric copy involves focusing the content directly on the reader, emphasizing their needs, desires, and experiences. Here are some key strategies that I use. Address the reader directly. Use the second-person pronoun you to make the content feel personal and engaging. This creates a direct line of communication. Right? Focus on benefits. Instead of saying we offer teeth whitening, you say you can enjoy a brighter, more confident smile. Use limbic messaging. I incorporate emotional limbic statements such as "you deserve a smile that lights up a room" to appeal to a reader's feelings and aspirations.
So
Empathize.
good. So good.
Empathize with the reader. Show understanding of their challenges and concerns. Address common dental fears or questions they might have and reassure them with solutions. Provide useful information, right? Tips. And look at this. Include calls to action. Use engaging calls to action to emphasize benefits like "call us today to start your journey to a healthier smile." By centering the content around the reader's perspective and making it relevant to their lives, ensure that the copy resonates on a personal level, fostering a connection that encourages action. So originally, I've baked in this methodology that we talked about. It's simple to like say, here's what we want to do. It's a little more complex to teach an AI how to do it, but we've cracked the code originally.
It's so
I'm
good.
gonna ask, how do you make copy limbic? Okay, last thing I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to actually ask it to write something for us. And then I'm going to show you how to build something like this for your own business. Okay, so I showed this to Bridget earlier, and she asked me, she's a master too. She said, how come you like time? How come you show the time it takes? Okay, to make copy limbic, I incorporate emotionally resonant language and phrases that connect with the reader's emotions and values. Limbic messages are designed to evoke warm feelings and create an emotional bond between the reader and the message. Here's how I achieve that. One, use limbic messages. There are specific forms that tap into human emotions, such as "we believe," "you deserve," "because something matters," "we picture a world where." Okay, like we picture a world where, we didn't talk about it, but here's the explanation. This paints a visionary scenario that aligns with the reader's aspirations, such as "we picture a world where everyone smiles brightly." Originally, all of our IP is in this tool. It's incredible.
It's just freaking ridiculous.
Evocative language. Use rich descriptive language to paint vivid images or feelings. That's why we wanted to show you the Harley-Davidson ad today. It was all words that evoked feelings, and they actually showed it on the video. Words like warm, comforting, bright, and inviting can help set an emotional tone. Focus on emotions and aspirations. Talk about how services or products will make the reader feel, addressing their hopes and desires. Create connections. Positive imagery. This is so important. Ridgely is helping us with a project where she's using her expertise in graphics to enliven the text that's limbic with images that really support that limbic feeling. By embedding such limbic elements. Yeah, what's that?
Give us something. Come on. Show us some output.
Okay.
Give us something.
Yes. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen again. Visually is bucking to see how this thing works. All right. You guys can see my screen?
Yep.
Write a blog post about dental care
At Christmas.
during the holidays.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Now, we are trying to get them to rank #1. Therefore, we wrote this thing to always target a target keyword. So it's asking, hey, what target keyword do you want to do? See visually how intentional we are? I'm going to say my target keyword is holiday dental care in, this is Chandler, so this would be Bowling Green, Kentucky. So originally I'm targeting that keyword. This is going to produce a blog article that we're going to use to rank for this keyword that is limbic, that has use-centric language, and has a direct call to action. Great choice. Here's a suggested outline. Please review it and let me know if you like any changes. Now, this is the key point in AI. The old way of doing this is to say, give me a blog post about holiday care, dental care in Bowling Green, and it's going to spit out the whole thing. No, what you want it to do is prompt it so that it takes step-by-step actions so that you can course correct on the way. So I'm going to review #1, the introduction. Okay, brief intro, good. Limbic message, yes, I definitely want a limbic message in there, so I agree with that. #2, why holiday dental care matters, the importance of dental care, yep, that's fine too. #3, common challenges, okay, that looks good. #4, practical tips, yes, I want practical tips. #5, family-friendly dental practices, yes, sure. #6, local resources for emergency dental care, ooh, that sounds good. And #7, conclusion, recap the importance. Limbic messaging, yes, at the end, I definitely wanted one. And call to action to schedule a post-holiday checkup, yeah, that sounds great. And then about the service, yes. And then look, folks, we even programmed it so that in your WordPress blog, you have everything that you need to post it right away. We know what the link is going to be. We know what the title is going to be. Here are the best tags. Here are the categories. And here's even the post excerpt that you're going to put on the blog landing page. This is excellent. I'm just going to say continue. It's going to go now, and it's not going to write the whole thing. We've programmed it to write the first section, right? It wrote the first section. There it is there. It's going to say, how does this intro look to you? Would you like any changes? Let me just take a quick look. The holiday season is a time filled with joy, gatherings, and delicious food. Admits all, okay. The second I got to admits, I'm going to say, make the language simpler. Okay? I don't want it to say amidst all the festivities. So I'm going to say, now, here's the key. Even though I trained this thing and I said, make it in 6th grade language, it doesn't necessarily do what you tell it to do. So you got to course correct while you're doing it. Here's a simplified version. Now I'm going to check it. The holiday season is a time for fun, family, and sweet treats. But with all the excitement, it's easy to forget about taking care of your teeth. Now, originally, now we're on target because everybody can understand this. Instead of
I want to tweak this. So let's the tweak for the future. Tell the thing to lead with the limbic message.
Okay, so it put the limbic message as a second sentence. Okay, so I'm going to say, make the limbic statement the first sentence. Okay, now it's going to rewrite it. It's not going to use the same limbic message. That's the key to understand. In AI, it never repeats itself. It generates it each time. So let's see what happens. The concept is you don't put in a pre-canned prompt and take what you get. You interact with it just as originally did. Certainly, here's the revised introduction as the first sentence. Holiday dental care in Bowling Green, KY. That's the SEO keyword. We believe your smile should be as bright as your holiday decorations. Originally, you got to put that in your thing. That's a good one.
Yeah, except I don't like the word should.
Oh my God. Don't
But watch
use
what we're doing, people. This is, this is
should
my complete, et
in the
cetera.
limbic message. Originally, it's being a fuss pot. Don't use the word should in the limbic message. Let's see what happens.
But this is how you make incredible stuff.
We
Look
believe your
at that. We
smile.
believe your smile shines as brightly as your. Isn't that way better? Just say it, okay?
Yes. The holiday season is a time for fun, family, and sweet treats. But with all the excitement, it's easy to forget about taking care of your teeth. Keeping your teeth healthy during the holidays in Bowling Green KY will help you start the new year with confidence. Originally, this thing has become a better copywriter than me.
Okay,
Now it's
cool. And I love that. Let's use it as as a tool. That's what we're talking about doing.
yes. So now that it knows what we like, it says, is this version better for you? I said, yes, this tone is great. Now it knows, right? I'm going to say, please continue because I'm a polite guy. And now it's going to write the next section per the outline that we had originally agreed upon, right? So now I'm not even going to look, but I'm just going to hit go just for the purpose of this demo. I'm going to assume it's fine. And it's going to come out here, the risks, and I'm going to say continue, right? I'm just trying to speed this along. You can tweak every single thing like originally, would have you do. I'm just going to like rip right through. And now it's got the practical tips, stick to a routine, modify sugar. I'm going to say sounds good, go. And now it's going to go. Now, folks, remember how difficult life used to be writing blog posts, not to mention blog posts that are limbic, blog posts that have you-centric language, blog posts that have calls to action, right? Okay, I'm going to say continue. Let's just keep going right through the outline.
Now, obviously, if you're doing this on your own and you had this tool, everybody, you could knock out this blog post in about 2 minutes.
Yes.
And it would be
Right.
great.
I'm going to hit go. Now it got up to the local resources. Now we're going to get to some information that I showed you how, like, I'm going to show you why it's there and then how I actually put it there. Here's the conclusion, blah, blah, blah. Here's the call to action. Our team is here to support you. Now is the great time to book an appointment. Call us at this number and secure your spot for the new year, right? So we end with the call to action per our formula. This section here is highly important for Google to assign authority to this information. We gave the information above. Now we're taking credit for it, right? This is Chandler Park Dental Care. Here's where we're located. We have a team of these dentists. Here are the credentials, DMD. We believe in providing top notch care because your smile matters to us. We picture a world where everyone can smile brightly and live confidently, knowing they have a trusted dental team by their side. We worked hard at making this not hokey, and it learned, right? It's incredible. So now I'm going to say continue, and it's going to give me a couple of last things, and then I'm going to be good to go. This is kind of mind-blowing if you ask me. Here's the recommended WordPress meta information. So here's what it's good to go. Now here, this is key. When you're using AI, in your prompt, say, after you give me your output, tell me how you did it and how I should use it. Okay, so now it says, in crafting this blog post, I focused on the target keyword, right? So now I can check, strategically placing it within the headings, the introduction, and naturally throughout the content to optimize for SEO without keyword stuffing. The content was designed to be user-friendly, engagement, and informative, while incorporating emotional living messages to create an emotional connection with readers. The tone is friendly and supportive, aiming to provide practical advice and solutions. Now, here's where I should go. Post it on the website to educate people, encouraging them to maintain health during the holiday season. Consider sharing it on social media to reach a wider audience, potentially drawing in more local traffic seeking dental services. Great. Now, as Ridgely said, you can now do in minutes what used to take hours, if not days, if not a week, right? So I'm now gonna say it's gonna say, okay, great. Now what do you need? I said, give me some related social media posts. Okay. Now, the way this tool works is that everything that you've done previously is still in memory. So now it's going to give you related social media posts, but also learning what you've been wanting. So now here are some posts. Keep your bright smile bright this holiday season, right? What's missing? Limbic. Okay, so now we're going to say rewrite and make Limbic. And then after I show you the results of this, I'm going to quickly, because we're over time now, I'm going to quickly show you the behind the scenes of how this is done. All right, so now here's the Limbic version. Originally, you be the judge of this. Here's a revised version of the social media post, now with Limbic messaging to connect emotionally with you. Okay, post number 1. We believe your smile lights up the holidays. As you enjoy the festive treats and fun, remember to blush, flush.
This is great.
Right?
This is
The
great.
confidence of a healthy, happy smile. And look, there's a call to action. Because your smile matters. Indulge in holiday treats, but embrace balance. Too much sugar, blah, blah, blah. You deserve a sparkling family smile. Amidst the holiday chaos, blah, blah, blah. We picture a world with dental worries or no more. Enter the new year with a bright smile, blah, 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 whatever. So originally, how awesome is that?
It's amazing. It's unbelievable to think that a tool like that can do that much output in what, if we weren't talking it through, team, if you're watching this, if we weren't talking this through, it would be done in a matter of 5 minutes. All of it. And this is, Hubert, what I was referencing earlier in our call, saying that one of the things that impressed the practice manager of the practice that I was talking to a little while ago, whose proposal I'll be sending out first thing tomorrow morning, was, you could do that for us? I said, yeah, and we'll give you the tool. So we could use that for our social media. You can use it for whatever you want. You can create any kind of content. She was like, she didn't know what to say anymore, right? She was like, what? Really? Okay. That's included? That's included in the package? Yeah. Oh,
Wow,
okay.
that's incredible. Okay, so now
Because
here
you
originally,
go way beyond. When you go way beyond, because we have this technology, you can give
yes.
something that costs us nothing. We build it first one time, we give it away, it produces incredible results. Most people will never use it, so they'll still need your services to create it, but the value perception is huge.
Exactly. All right, so now I'm going to share my screen. Originally, tell me when you see my screen.
See your screen.
Okay, now here's where I spill the beans. Okay, we don't have time to dive in. I'll do that in future mastermind calls, but I'm going to give you the broad picture, and you'll understand like how to do it, right? I'll walk you step by step in future meetings. But what I'm in here is the back end of OpenAI is one of the leading AI companies. You can apply for API access. It's pennies. Okay, you spend a couple of dollars a month. It's incredible. You get access to what's called the platform.openai.com, like sandbox and playground. Okay, so I'm just going to demonstrate. Here on your left, you see assistants. I'm going to show you the exact assistant that powers that that interface that I just showed you. Chandler Park is down here. Okay, now here's the concept. This is the assistant here. It's called the Chandler Park Dental Care Copywriter. I'm going to discuss exactly the system instructions in a second. I chose which model to use. GPT 4.0 is right now the best for writing purposes, especially creative writing. It's gotten really good. Originally, and I have seen this model in the last month get much better, like at what we wanted to do. Okay? Now, here's the secret formula right here. You can attach in this assistant certain files. Okay? I'm going to open this up. I attached 3 files. I attached their limbic statements. Okay, that's a text file with all the limbic statements that they've done in an exercise with originally. We believe, you deserve, we picture a world where, and because something matters. It's a text file. There's probably originally you probably created well over 150 of them for this company, and it's in here in the text file. I also then went and created a text file that's a scrape of the entirety of their website, meaning it copied and pasted all the text on their website. Thirdly, I went and looked at the American Dental Association patient education blog called mouthhealthy.org, and I ran and scraped all of the blog posts from there in terms of patient education. I uploaded it to this assistant, which means that all of that information is now training this particular assistant. Okay. Then let's spend a minute looking at the instructions. Now, this all in here is system instructions, which at the end of the day is one very large prompt. Okay, now you've seen Ridgely do his magic prompt, and it's kind of complex and all of that. The concept is after you get a super prompt that you know and love and works really well, you put it into your assistant and it runs this thing every single time. So back when I came over here and I was using it, it relies on that information that it trained on, which are these files, and this complex system instructions. Now, just give you, again, we're not going to go through this line by line. I'll do that in future sessions. But the overall concept is that you tell it what to do. You're going to tell it that it's going to write dental content for a specific need for website, blog, and social media. You're going to create SEO-friendly website copy. You're going to say that it's natural sounding text for 6th grade reading comprehension, use simple vocabulary, all the normal stuff that you would put into your prompt, but you're going to put it in the system instructions so that every single time it acts, it does that. Check this out, guys. Earlier, I mentioned how it always starts with a keyword. That's because I instructed. When asked for a blog post, you will first ask me for a target keyword. Then you're going to take that and do this, that, and the other thing. Now look at this. You're going to take that keyword and you're going to put it in the title. You're going to put it in the headings. You're going to introduce the keyword early. You're going to put it in the body. Every single thing you want it to do, you write out the instructions and put it in here. I ask it to provide the URL, the titles, the tags, all of that. I even tell it how to write. Always include facts, use useful information, SEO usage, blah, 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 blah. I even mentioned Google's framework for helpful content called EEAT. That's, expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness, right? I'm telling it exactly what I want. When writing things other than website copy, it might not need a target keyword so that I can make it universal, right? So I'm saying when needed, you will ask me for feedback. Then I give the name, the details, always include the phone number, the address, and so forth. The call to action at the end of the content should be to call the office to schedule a visit. Now, here's the magic sauce right here. The content should appeal to emotional benefits and include short limbic statements. Then I train it and tell it what a limbic statement is. We believe, you deserve. I mean, you got to put it all in there. I say vary the form of the limbic statements and use each of the forms no more than once in the output. You're not required to use all the forms. Keep it natural sounding is very important, okay? Now, I tell it the names of the dentists, include their names and their credentials. At the end of the section, please provide the recommended WordPress information. You saw that, right? Now, you also saw at the end, when you provide your output, include a clearly marked section called usage notes that explains the approach you took. Let me know why you created the output you did and how I should best use it, right? Then, remember how I said, what are you? And it explained. I said, when asked what you do, include the fact that you produce SEO content for Chandler Park Dental Care. When asked about limbic messages, include the forms of limbic messages that you use. Okay, that way you can use it as a training tool and it's self-explanatory, right? And again, I'll dive into the details of this so that each of our mastermind members in the new year can create their very own AI assistants. So originally, I want everybody in our mastermind in the new year, by the end of January, to have an AI assistant trained on their own content that's going to help them write their own customized limbified content. That's a bold statement, but everybody can do it, and we'll lead you through it.
All right, guys, thank you so much for staying over as long as you did. Next week, which I think may well be our last mastermind meeting of the year because we will take a week off during Christmas. We are going to meet at 9 o'clock Pacific, noon Eastern time. Noon Eastern, because obviously people are going to sleep. So, yeah, thanks everybody for the kind comments in the chat. I know we went over a lot, but there's a lot to cover for sure. If I don't talk to you, obviously, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy Christmas. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Merry New Year. Whatever. All that stuff. Again, noon Eastern time, 9 o'clock Pacific, next Friday, the 20th. Friday, the 20th, I think, is going to be our last mastermind meeting of the year. So please join us if you're a mastermind member. Have a great time. And Hubert, go ahead. I know you got
Yes,
something. I just
I
don't
have
even.
curated from my Christmas collection. I've curated 3 dad jokes for you originally, and dude, you should be able to guess at least one of them. Okay, are you ready?
Can't wait.
These are put on your thinking cap. Okay, this one's okay. Originally, you were an English literary person. Okay, so you should get this one maybe. What did the English grammar teacher call Santa's helpers? What did the grammar teacher call Santa's helpers?
I don't know.
Subordinate clauses.
Oh, God.
Okay, Richard, here's another chance.
The
Richard,
worst.
here's another chance. This one's rare, okay? Because this one is a mind types oriented joke. Okay, ready for this? Okay. What do you call a kid who does not believe in Santa? It's one of the mind types. What do you call a kid who doesn't believe in Santa?
What?
A rebel without a clause. Last one, Richard. Last one,
I have to
Richard.
put up with this stuff all the time, people. I have to put up with this on a regular basis.
Okay, this one's good. This is our parting gift for the year for everybody auditing. Okay, we're gonna have more mayhem for our members, but we just wanted to end it on a high note, or threaten people with my bad jokes. Okay, originally, what did Adam say the day before Christmas? What did Adam say the day before Christmas?
What was that, Hubert?
It's Christmas Eve. That was pretty darn clever, Rich. That one is pretty darn clever.
Okay, you got a chuckle out of me on that one. All right, I love you, people. Have a great week. We'll see you next Friday if you're a mastermind member at 12 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock Pacific. Have a great week, everybody. Ciao for now. Bye.
It's Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve.
I'm out. Ciao.